What's going on, everybody? St. R. Edwards here. Welcome back to Ski, Swift Coding for Everyone. This is section 1.4 where we talk about control flow. Have you ever had to deal with an application that required your login information, like your username and password, before it allowed you to access the information or data? So say for instance, if you were already logged into the application, you could go ahead and get into the app and you can see everything. You can see, like say for instance, all your Instagram photos. But if you weren't logged in, it'll ask for your username and password. And once you are logged in, you can see the information. But say for instance, if your credentials were incorrect, if your username was incorrect, or your password was incorrect, it would ask you to correct it before you were able to get in. Those are all conditional statements alone, and they all tie into a bigger picture called control flow. And that's what we're going to kind of break down here today in this first part. So in this first part, we're going to discuss the logical operators, what they look like, as you can probably already see on your screen. And you can also expect to learn about if statements and if else statements, okay? So go ahead and open up a new playground, save it to your desktop or to your projects folder, and we'll get going. So first of all, when we look at the different types of logical operators, is what these are called here at the top. You see, first of all, the two equal signs, which means the left side and the right side are both equal. They have to be exact. Okay. The not equal sign, the exclamation mark, and the equal sign means both values must not be equal to each other. The greater than value means that the left side is greater than the right side. The greater than or equal to means the value on the left is greater than the value or equal to the value on the right. The less than sign is the left's value on the is less than the right, and then the less than or equal to value on the left is less than or equal to the right. And the not operator returns the opposite of the condition that it's following. And we'll get more into that here in a second. But let's first start off with if statements, okay? So not all the time, the apps that you're going to build are not going to be so plain and simple and straightforward. You're going to be dealing with big projects, and not all the time you want everything to run from top to bottom. There will be certain conditions that need to be met. Say, for instance, like a username and password for a certain type of application that you're building. So let's say for this case, for example purposes, we'll say var temperature equals 100. In this simple if statement, we'll say if temperature equals 100, we'll say print it is too hot outside, exclamation mark. Now, because temperature is exactly equal to 100, it prints that. But if we were to change that, because of the logical operator of the double equal sign, this print statement wouldn't get called. So notice that, we have the two curly braces, right? So when you type the first set of curly braces, the first one that opens up toward the right, and you hit enter, the second one automatically appears for you. This is very important. I'm not sure if I ever mentioned this in any lessons before, but the curly braces are very important because this represents a block of code. So in this case, if the situation is correct, this print statement will get called. If not, it won't. Which leads me into the next one. So we have what we call if-else statements too in the Swift programming language. So if-else statement. And you can just basically expand on this. So let's say if temperature is less than or equal to 100, you can say print we can go outside. else print now obviously you may need sunscreen on if it's anywhere in the 90s, but just stick with me here, okay? All right, so we're saying if temperature is less than or equal to 100, print we can go outside. And as you can see, it obviously already printed we can go outside. Else print be sure to put sunscreen on. So if we change the temperature up here, the variable temperature up here to 101 or anything above that, this block won't get ran. So it runs from top to bottom. Okay, so if this condition is not true, if it's not true, it's going to automatically go to the next block, which is the else statement. And the else statement is the end all be all. Once you hit this block of code, that is it. There is nothing else after else. Okay, so let's just try that out. So I'll change the variable temperature up here just to show you 101, and you'll see that second block of code will be ran. Be sure to put sunscreen on. All right. Change it back to 100 just for those purposes. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Stay tuned next for else if statements, Boolean values, and we'll also get into using some more of the logical operators. Thank you for tuning in.